Okay, so welcome back. I guess this is a series now. Last week I showed you the BTS content for this specific video I'm going to make about consistency. In between that video being posted and me starting work on it, there's a lot of things I do that I think is worth showing. So last week I showed you guys some behind the scenes content like recording, setting up the lights, and making all the movie magic happen. Today I'm going to be walking you through a specific segment of animation that I am working on for that video. This is the video where I break that down. I'm going to show you the storyboard, how I actually shot it, and how the final product came out. I'm excited because I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know if it's trash or if it's good. I have a feeling it's good. My computer is too slow to play all at once, so I just look at different fragments. So hopefully when everything comes together today, it will make more sense. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be quite the ride. Okay, essentially what you're going to see is different nodes in Fusion. So a node is basically like a box, right? And let's say this is the first node you have. Number one, this is your image, like the raw image before anything happens to it. What you do is that you pass your original image through multiple nodes, and each node does like a specific operation on it. Let's say you had your image like this, and you had your person. Oh, this is an ugly person. You had your person, and essentially you wanted to remove the background and leave only the person. In DaVinci, you would use something called a magic mask. Just call it MM. So now when you pass your image in there, it does the operation on your image, gives you just your person without the background, and then outputs that image out. And so you just keep doing this iteratively until you have the image you want. So if you want to see the whole breakdown, I screen recorded the process for one of them on my Patreon. So you can just check it out. It's free, don't be afraid. The first step in making an animation, I haven't made one before, but I'm just assuming, is the storyboard. Essentially, the story is from Matthew. It's the parable of the 3 talents. In that story, Jesus talks about a master and his 3 servants. He gives these servants certain amounts of talents, and the expectation is they go out and invest and bring something back. 2 of those servants do the right thing. One of the servants, we call him the slothful servant or the ungrateful servant. He buries his talent. And so essentially I want to pick all the key moments in that story so that as I'm narrating, I also have something to show, and it's not just a reenactment or a screenshot or some AI generated crap. It's something that I think would represent the story well. The first scene is going to be of the master, part of my drawing, but we're going to have this very tight shot of the master, and essentially the camera is going to push out. Maybe he'll like raise his hands or something just to show a good bit of presence. That's the first shot. It's establishing the story, and we're talking about the master and his servants. The next scene is going to be the servants presenting themselves to the master. So we would need 3 people. And since there's only one of me, I'll have to stay in all 3 positions. So there'll be one servant over here, bending down. These are his legs. And then there'll be another servant. This guy is going to raise his hands first and then come down. And then the other guy is going to have his head up, almost like he is suspicious of what's happening. And then he'll drop his head down. And so we have these 3 servants presenting themselves. You won't see the master in this scene. All this over here will just be pure white. There are 2 more scenes after this. We have one where the master, I'll just draw some kind of hand here, is given the talent, which talent was kind of it kind of represented money or valuables, property. Not necessarily he's giving them talents like skills, but it could be understood in that sense as well, maybe. But essentially we just have the master reaching down, the servant reaching up, and then there's the exchange of the talents. Kind of like that very old painting by, I think it's Michelangelo, somebody, you know, when God and David are reaching to each other. And now finally, the last shot that we'll need is the ungrateful servant being cast out. That's the crux of the story. And so we need a hand somewhere here, kind of ushering him out. We need the servant walking very dejectedly. Oh, he's kind of running. Let's say, okay, his hands are down and drooping, and he's walking towards the exit. And then we need some kind of exit that like pops out, and it needs to be ominous in a sense. It's a scary place. In that sense, that would be the final shot. There was also the issue of the other servants being rewarded and commended. So I ran out of ideas, and it's kind of difficult to actually animate it. So I just ended the story here, and then I concluded the commendation scene with I don't know if you watch Kronk's New Groove, but there's this scene where his puppy gives him the big thumbs up, and I think that's a good representation. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be blasphemous, but I think the commendation for these servants is similar to Kronk receiving commendation from his father after. Well, let's not read too deep into it, but it is kind of accurate. So once we have that storyboard, we need to shoot. Shooting is kind of difficult because when you're shooting the video, what you're seeing on camera is a far stretch from what you want to see in the final product. And it can be very discouraging because when you look at the thing, it just looks it just looks bad and amateurish. Like I'm wrapping myself up in blankets, tying like a fake toga, raising my hands up. I'm walking across the room. I'm stretching my hand out and bending down, looking up, all these different things. And just not seeing the final vision from the beginning is very difficult. I shot each of these scenes, and the idea is that we are going to do so much manipulation in post-production that you won't be able to recognize it's me. I'm not going to break down every shot that was made. I'm just going to show you my favorite shot and kind of show you all the pieces in that shot. So essentially we have the main image. This is why I shot, and this is why I say it looks silly, because it's just me walking very weirdly across the room. We passed that main video, now this is from the camera, into the matte control. Now the matte control takes out the background. There's a lot of stuff happening in these 4 nodes in the beginning, but we don't worry about that. Then we move that into the color corrector just to add some contrast to the image. And then finally we add a shadow with a polygon, and it's animated to follow the character. Finally, the thing doing the biggest piece of work is this halftone effect. I borrowed it from a guy called Just Crop It on this website called witeless. Don't ask me how I find these websites. So we repeat this process for the hand coming in. You can see over here there's a hand that reaches into the screen. This is just me stretching my hand out and trying to look cool, and it doesn't look cool on camera, but you have to just believe that it's going to look cool in the end. Same thing, matte control, color corrector, then we pass it to the halftone, which really stylizes the image. And then from the halftone, we project this bad boy as well. The last thing we do is the background. The background also is borrowed. I use Photoshop to clean up a lot of the characters that they had in the video, and then I just extended it out. And now the really cool thing is, if you look at the whole thing now, this is what's actually happening. We have our camera right here, we have the hand, we have the main character, and then we have this background. And so essentially, we stack these elements in front of each other, and then the final product looks decent.
Yeah.